The sun sank slowly over Kinshasa, painting the sky orange and red. Children laughed and ran through the streets, trying to catch the last light of day. Traders packed their stalls. Drums and music echoed faintly in the distance. But Kuka felt none of the joy. He leaned against an old broken wall, sweat and dust on his skin. The city felt different now, heavy, as if it was watching him. That morning, he had made a decision, one he could no longer escape. He wanted power, real power. As night fell, lamps flickered on across the city like tiny stars fighting the dark. Kuka slipped into a narrow alley under a broken bridge, far from curious eyes. The riverside nearby. This place was forgotten and perfect. On the ground, he began to arrange his tools: chalk, herbs, bones, old symbols he barely understood but desperately believed in. Then footsteps echoed. Kofi appeared from the shadows, barefoot, smiling. "You're late," he said softly. Kuka didn't reply. "Are you ready to cross the line?" Kofi asked, his eyes shining. Kuka swallowed. There was no turning back. The ritual began with whispers. Ancient words slid from Kuka's lips, strange and heavy. His hands shook as he spoke. The air grew thick. The shadows stretched. The alley felt smaller, tighter, like it was closing in. Suddenly, the ground trembled. A body rose. It gasped. Life returned. But something was wrong. The figure stood still, eyes empty, breathing but not living. Its face was familiar. Someone from the neighborhood. Someone Kuka once greeted with laughter. Kofi laughed softly. "Do you see it?" he said. "Your first worker." Kuka felt sick. These were not miracles. These were prisoners. The dead were awake but trapped, moving without will, living without souls. Still, the power felt real, strong, dangerous. More bodies rose. They stood in a slow, broken circle, moving stiffly, like puppets pulled by invisible strings. A terrible dance, the dance of the damned. Kuka's heart pounded. Was this progress or a curse? Then a voice cut through the darkness. "Kuka!" He froze. Zuri stepped forward, fear and anger in her eyes. "What have you done?" she whispered. Kuka opened his mouth, desperate. "I wanted to help, to change this city, to make life better." Zuri shook her head. "This is not help. This is destruction." Behind them, the dead watched silently. Guilt clawed at Kuka's chest. But before he could stop himself, a darker thought rose. "Kofi," he said quietly. "Let's go further." Kofi raised an eyebrow. "Who?" "Josh," Kuka whispered. "My friend." Silence fell. The ritual circle was redrawn. The chants grew louder. The shadows moved like living things. Then, Josh appeared, standing, breathing, but empty. Kuka's heart shattered. The face was the same. The eyes were not. He had brought back a body, not a soul. Tears burned his eyes as he stepped back. Power had answered him, but at a terrible price. The city continued to breathe beyond the alley. Life went on. But Kuka stood frozen, surrounded by the dead, realizing too late what he had become. This was no longer curiosity. It was a curse, and the dance had only just begun.